In today's episode, I want to go over some things from the previous episode. It was 3 hours long. With that, I will not make a 3 hour long video again because it was too long for me. And that's that I listened to it in speed mode because I could understand that way. And it was too long. So the most I'll do is the longest is probably an hour. I think that's good timing, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. Sorry for the noise. I have my fan on and you can hear the dog in the back. Also, too, I'm going to try my best to stop using the word I used it so many times that it got on my nerves. I'm going to try not to cuss. I don't feel like I cuss a lot on here because usually when I talk, I cuss a lot. But for my for my videos won't get flagged, I'm going to try not to cuss. Also, too, I want to do a reminder, just like the first little skit that I get in the beginning, is that remember, this is not for you to feel hurt from the things that I already lived. Now, when I talk about all this stuff, I am healed. I holded everything in for so long that I exploded. It came out. And now I'm healed from it. Yeah, there's still certain things that are still scarred in there that will never heal. And when I talk about things, yeah, I get emotional. I do get anger. I don't show it on here, but that's just part of the process of talking. Now, I'm sharing my life story. And with that, you do hear me talk a lot about my mom's story, my other family member stories. Why? Because as we're kids, we're living in our parents' or our family members' life. Just like my kids, they were living our life. That's the same thing with me. I was living my family lives. And with that, you create those memories. Stuff stay in. It goes to your heart, your soul, your brain, whatever. And just because I talk about it doesn't mean that I'm mad at you or anything. No. We really work things out. We talk through things. There's many stories I'm going to share that people that hurt me at that moment. But I got over it. I even talked with them. We made peace. But it doesn't mean that even though we made peace, I'm just going to forget it and never talk about it again. No, it's part of my journey, part of my story, and that's it. But in no way am I trying to act like a victim, or do I want your pity or for you to feel sad for me. In no way I'm trying to throw shade to nobody. Now, like I said in the trailer before, if the saco fits, wear it. If the shoe fits, wear it. That's a you problem, not a me problem. I am not trying to offend anybody. But remember, this is my story. It's about me. And with that, I know it has a lot of memories of my family that are listening to. And they know that we're over it. But at the same time, it does hurt them. It does make them sad, or makes them laugh, or makes them happy, or makes them think like, damn, oh shit, I forgot about that, or this, that, and the third. Just take it as a memory of everything else you have in your heart and your head and all your memories. That's all it is. This is a book. This is a story. Okay? It's just like when you watch series and it goes back. But in no way am I trying to offend anybody. This is for me. I go through a rabbit hole. I was rambling and talking and I went through a rabbit hole. I'll try my best not to do that again, but still. This is for me to just throw out there for me, for I can go back for more tweaker. But with that does come my family members. It does come with remembering the past, bringing up the past. I also want to say to those family members, just because those memories were bad, don't go in a hole. Stay where you're at. Don't go in a deep hole and start drowning in a cup of water that's not there. All right, so with that, let's get into the episode. This episode, I want to talk about my health. I know I told you guys to stay tuned for part 2, and don't worry, it's coming, but I wanted to throw this one in between. I had a health scare recently, and I wanted to talk about that because a lot of stuff is not talked about. It's really hard right now with doctors and finding out things. And when you don't know stuff and you get frustrated because you feel like the doctors are not any help at all. Well, thank God my whole life I've had good health. A couple months after I was born, I did have seizures. I had seizures all the way up to I was like 13. I want to say 12 or 13. Don't remember the exact date. I could have been 11 or 12 or 13. Don't know. I just know it was 95 was my last one. I used to have these seizures. Back then the doctors really didn't do a lot of testings or whatnot. And my mom said that they just gave her medication for a while and then I stopped taking it. If that, I don't even remember if I was taking medication, to be honest. I just know when I used to get these seizures, they used to throw me in the bathtub, put the shower and let the water run on me and I would wake up. When I was a couple months old, I was in a car seat and my Uncle H, the one that I talked to before, like I told you, another one, he dropped me on accident and, I had a seizure. So I've been having them since I was that little. And everybody already knew to just put me in the water the way I was, shoes, clothes, everything. And the last one I had was in 95. Me and my mom's second child and my brother F, we used to, as siblings, you fight with each other, you wrestle, you get mad because you got to do chores. So we used to pay each other. I don't know if my brother F remembers this, but we used to pay each other 5 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents to do the person's errand. Pinche chore. And used to go to the store and buy gum and now laters and for 5 cents, lemon head for 10 cents, like that. So I remember that day they had to wash the dishes. Well, they convinced me to wash the dishes, but at the same time I was mad. Now, after we end up getting, I don't know if after I washed the dishes, whatnot, but we end up getting in a fight and we started wrestling. And my mom's second child, he pushed me where I hit the side of the couch, and that had a seizure. They had to put me in the bathtub with water and let the shower run down on me and everything. And that's the last time I had one, thank God. Now, throughout the years too, I forgot about them, never paid no mind. I would get in fights. Thank God it never happened to me in fights. Falls. I was clumsy. I used to fall a lot when I was a kid, a teenager too. And thank God I never had one of those. When I got married with my husband and we were boyfriend and girlfriend, we used to play like pillow fight. And one day we were playing and he hit me with the pillow and I kind of like dinged out for a little bit. And that's when I got scared. I was like, oh shit, my seizures are going to come back. And then that's when I let him know. And then when I was pregnant with my daughter, I did get scared. I did tell my doctor that I was concerned about my seizures and that if I have her normal, am I going to get a seizure, this and that? And yeah, I had her natural, but I was still scared that I was going to have a seizure. And I've never even researched, never even told my doctor to this day. I've told my doctor once, but they didn't pay no mind because it's been many years. I thought maybe in my family, on my dad's side or my mom's side, no one has seizures. One of my nieces, my goddaughter right now, she has, I don't know the right word. I'm going to say epilepsy, seizures. I don't know. No, I don't think that's the word, but she has some kind of seizures right now. And I don't know if she takes medication or no. So yeah, until then, I never had any, from that last seizure all the way up to 2019, I had no health problems. In 2019, I'm in my mid 30s, I think, and I start getting this pain. Well, it turns out it was the gallstones. And the doctors now, they want to take out your gallbladder. Nope. As soon as they took out my gallbladder, yeah, I didn't have that pain no more. But everything in my body just started messing up. My mental health, my just little things here and there. I know with the gallbladder, when I had got the stones, I got fatty liver, I got high blood pressure. I know you're not supposed to eat certain foods when you have your gallbladder taken out, but you know me, I'm still going to eat my cheese. I'm still going to eat my certain foods. So I know I do wrong sometimes as well. I get myself sick. But spices is one of the one that I have to stay away from, like hot, spicy foods, which is upsetting because I love, salsa. And I can't eat hot Cheetos no more. If I do, it's only a little handful because I'll get these stomach spasms, which is really bad. I can't eat Takis. Any hot chips I can't eat no more. I can't eat Tapatio and Valentina like that. The only chile que no me hace daño is the salsa, the homemade chile that you make at home. That's, I guess, because I don't know why, but I could make it here with the tomate, chiles, todo, and I don't get sick like that. But any other salsa, any other hot sauce, I get sick. So yeah, once the gallbladder went out, forget it. Everything was happening. Well, I ended up getting my gallbladder out in 2020, the end of 2020, the fall actually. And in 2021, we had the enemy C that was visiting us. That was happening. And so I was having these issues, which vertical issues and all these other little symptoms. And these doctors, at the time, no, going back when I lived next to Southgate, I had the best doctor in Southgate. I didn't take advantage of it at the moment, but I realized where I'm at now, before the C came around, I was already struggling here with plans, getting appointments, getting doctors. It was already a runaround. And when the enemy C came around in 2020, forget it. It has not been the same. And I will say, I give my props and my respect to the medical field because they're the only ones that actually were in hell when this enemy C was here. You remember nurses and doctors even, left this earth because of that. And so I give them the respect. But as a patient, me as a person, me as a human, I was getting treated like an inmate, like a number. And I would have to go in, sometimes they have good doctors and good assistants in the back. But the problem is the fucking girls in the front. It's always the girls in the front. Anywhere you go, these girls that work in billing in the front, they're always the problem. Any clinic you go to. And so, yeah, it was hard getting through these doctors at the time. In 2020, I had a good doctor, but she was scared of the enemy. And she ended up leaving the clinic. So that screwed me and my daughter up. We didn't have I think for 2 years straight, we didn't have a primary doctor until we got somebody. And I still had to change the clinic because these people don't know how to do their job. And mind you, when I go to these clinics, I'm respectful, I'm mindful, I'm, there. But once they start getting their little attitudes and doing their shits, I'll go off on them. And if I had to put some in their places with the papers under their narices, them arguing and the papers right there in their fucking nose. And anyways, I'm having these issues. They send me to all these other tests. Mind you, I've been suffering for vertigo since 2021. 22, 23, 24, 25. Almost going into 4 years now. Actually, this month makes four years. And they still don't know. They still don't have answers. I've done so many testings that I'm exhausted from all the testings I have done. And everything comes back negative. All right, nothing's bad, everything, which that's a good news too. Then why am I having these issues? And come to find out, my mom has vertigo. She's had it for years. I just found out now that I shared with my family about the vertigo. I found out that 2 of my brothers have vertigo. I found out a lot of friends and family suffer from vertigo. But what I did realize and paid attention to is that we all have different symptoms. Usually everybody, most of everybody I hear that has vertigo, they all have similar symptoms. Those ain't the symptoms I'm having. And I just came across some famous, Mexicanos in the celebrity industry, los Mexicanos, and then some in the American one that suffer it too, and they don't have answers. They don't have helps. And all they can give you is like CC pills, right? There's no medication for it. But with that, I also have got other issues that, these doctors just think you're crazy. Like before the vertigo, when I was having these symptoms, I would go in and tell them, and they would look at me and say, "Oh, you're overweight." Ooh, that was their favorite word. No los podías quitar de ese pinche palabra. You're eating too many fatty foods. You need to exercise. That was their favorite palabra all the time. And I'm telling them, I need to get this done. I need to get this x-ray done. I need to get these lab works done. I need to get this checked, that checked, my hormones checked, this, that, and the third. No. Another thing I will say is as we get older, we go through menopause as women, right? Well, for a lot of years, I was shut down on the word menopause. Why? Because you got la misma mujeres talk down on you. I had somebody in my household that just because today I woke up fatigued or I was in a bad mood, I could have been barely 30 years old or 29. Oh, es que anda de cambio de vida. Ay, mi hijo, es que anda de cambio de vida. And so I got upset when every time I heard that word. Is that a woman couldn't wake up just to be lazy today? Oh, because she's going through menopause? A woman can't just be angry today or have a bad day and doesn't want to do this and that and want to deal with people's shit? Oh, because we're in menopause. So for many years, I was against that word. It would piss me off because our own women will use it against us. When they already went through that and passed through that, instead of sharing knowledge, instead of sharing good things, no, it was always, everything was bad about it. And so I never wanted to accept it. Now, when I'm a person that believes that we're born and we're going to die. We're born like babies. We need to learn how to walk, speak, eat, everything. And as we get older, that's the same thing. We lose the ability to walk, speak, and eat and everything, right? We go back to Pampers. That's just life. And I accept that. I'm not even old yet. And I accept that we're going to get gray hair. Our skin's going to sag. Our body parts are going to sag. We're not going to walk. Everything's going to change. But there's a lot of people that are in denial of getting old. And I'm not in denial of getting old. That's part of life. And death is part of life as well. Now, of course, we don't want to die right now. We still have a whole life ahead of us. We don't want to think of death like that. But in reality, that's life. You got to think about cemeteries. You got to think about cremation. You got to think about death and what's going to happen to your family when you're gone. It's a scary thing, yeah. When you have your family, when you have your kids, when you have your spouse and you don't want to leave them, it is scary. But that's part of life. So I have never shied away about getting old, and menopause is one of them. But when people use it against you for any little thing that a woman is going through, they throw it in their face, especially women. That's what me hacía enojar. So in my mid-30s, I started doing, no, my late 30s, mind you. I started now with Google and books and everything. I started Googling symptoms, stuff, what you need to get checked before. I never see when people talk about menopause, they never talk about post or prior menopause. There is actually something before menopause that our bodies are already getting ready for that. And I don't even know if I'm in that yet. But symptoms that I feel like I am. The doctors tell me otherwise. I don't get hot flashes. I have a lot of symptoms except hot flashes. And the doctors tell me, oh, because you don't have because you don't have hot flashes, you're not going through menopause. I already got 3 tests for menopause, and they told me I was crazy, that I'm not going through that. Then why am I going through this way that I'm feeling? You know what I mean? So I didn't know if it was a vertigo. Now, mind you, when I got my gallbladder out, a couple months after, I was taking CBD oil, which is really good for your body. You know, you rub it on your body and whatnot, and your bones for the pain. And you also can use a little drops. And funny story is, I heard something that was not told to me, but I decided to, they told me, you can put a little bit of 1 or 2 drops under your tongue and it'll help you. Just 1 to 2 drops. No, Motuica listened and heard something else. And I thought in my head after the gallbladder, well, my organs need to get fixed. If 1 or 2 drops is good, like they said, what's a gulp? What's a drink? I think a drink will do good. And my ass started drinking the shit. You know when you open a can of soda and that first gulp, that big gulp you take, that's how much I was taking. I didn't tell nobody. I took it like that for 4 months. Now I don't know if the vertigo came from the gallbladder or if it came from drinking that. I don't know. I just know I started blacking out. You know, the symptoms for the vertigo. I started having these symptoms. I started blacking out. I was falling to my right side so many times. There's times that I was blacking out and bumping into stuff. My husband would tell me, I didn't believe him. I thought he was bullshitting. And then he recorded me one day, you know, sitting on the toilet talking nonsense. I had to lay on my bed because I actually fell from my bed one time too. And so I'm like, okay. So around March of 2021, I told my husband, you know what? I've been doing this. Do you think that had an effect? And they all scolded me. My kids, everybody was scolding me like, what? Why were you doing that? Who told you to do that? I said, well, you guys did. No, we did not. You guys said 1 to 2 drops. Yeah, 1 to 2 drops, not the fucking whole bottle. And so from there, I stopped taking that. So I never done that again, and I will never do that again. But I continue to have those symptoms. I continue to black out. I continue to have like the doctor said, vertigo. They took me to tests. They're saying it's the crystals in your ears that balance all of your ears. That I went to people, put shit in my ears, my nose, my head, everything. Nothing. They can't. Everything comes back positive. They give you these exercise. To me, the exercise don't work. Sit on the couch, move your head to right to side. I'd rather just lay down. So like I said, it just took over my life. It comes and goes when it wants. Some days it'll come, some days it won't. Some weeks I'm fine. Some weeks it comes. I was a multitasker, and now I can't even multitask. I have to take breaks, which I hate because I love everything done and fast, because to me everything's a job, and it's just taking over my life. Certain exercise, certain things in my life I can't do the same anymore, and it fucking sucks. I do have high blood pressure, and the scare that I got the other day was the vertigo I already had the vertigo for a whole week. I was in and out of sleep because I was taking the pill they gave me, and it's not supposed to put you to sleep, but for me it puts me to sleep. And so that whole week, I felt like fatigued, very tired. The vertigo was really taking over me that whole week. And sometimes I'm lazy as well, and I don't take all my pills and vitamins every day. I actually take breaks because after the gallbladder, if I take too many pills or too many vitamins, I get constipated. And I love to poop, TMI. I don't like to be constipated. So what I do is certain days I take my vitamins, certain days I don't. And my blood pressure pills, I'm supposed to be taking them every day for the rest of my life. Now, I moved them. For us, sometimes we're like little kids too. In my restroom, I have to have things display for everybody to use. And as I do that for everybody else, I have noticed that even us adults, us people, if we don't see certain things, we don't use them. And I had all my pills right next to me, but I decided to move it, take out the clutter, and put them in my cajon. And I said to myself, every day I'll get up and I'll go get them out of the cajon. Well, no, because I don't see them, I forget. And that's another thing from the gallbladder. I started having memory fog. I started having memory loss. I'm back to it, not 100%, but back to it. I'll go back to that. So I forget sometimes, and sometimes it's just out of laziness. It's not even, that's just the truth. Sometimes we're just lazy, and and I don't even know if that's the right word, but sometimes we're just like, tomorrow, I'll take it tomorrow. I forgot today, I'll take it tomorrow. So I hadn't took my blood pressure pills for like 2 months. And Saturday, March 15th, is me and my husband's wedding anniversary. And it was our 22nd anniversary. And we didn't have big plans, anything like that. And I decided that morning to take my blood pressure pill, just one, and a B12 vitamin. And I said, tomorrow I'll take the iron and the vitamin D, all that. And my husband and my kids went and did an errand. I was into a TV show, so I just was lounging it all day until they got home. watching the show. I didn't even do no cleaning. Usually when they all leave the house, when your family leaves at the house, that's the time to clean up the house because nobody's there. But no, I didn't even feel in the mood to do that. Like I told you, the vertigo was kicking my ass all week. So they get home. My husband surprises me with flowers. And I did get excited because we were trying to save up some money. And so I had told him not to waste money on, things here and there. And after the holidays as well, it's just past all where, everybody recovers after the holidays. And so these were spring flowers, which we were going into spring, and they were just beautiful. They were, to me, I woke up, I was asleep when they got home. He woke me up with the surprise. And I did get excited. I got really excited because, not because he got me flowers. I will share the flower thing with my husband later on. But my husband is a good guy that gives me flowers just because it's a rainy day. Like, he doesn't do it on special. He does it on special occasions, but he also does it throughout the year. So, but that day actually was more exciting because it was our anniversary, and it was spring flowers, and I was sniffing them, smelling them, and everything. And I'll get into the flowers and allergies later on another video. But on this day, excuse me, I was excited. They had texted me for food what kind of food to eat. And I actually told them, you know what? Tengo ganas de una caldo. Can you stop at the market and get stuff to make a caldo de pollo? And my husband's like, yeah, okay, send me the list. What do you want? And I sent them the list of everything. They went to the market, got the stuff. And when they got back, they put the stuff in the kitchen. So I go in the kitchen. I wash the flowers, get the vase ready, do my thing, cutting the flowers and all that. And then I start putting the groceries away, getting the vegetables, washing them, cutting them. Then I get to the chicken. And then I got to smell everything. I'm one of those people that got to smell everything. So I was smelling the chicken. And all of a sudden, I was like cutting the last piece of the chicken where I told my daughter, I don't feel good. I don't know what's wrong. This is an ugly feeling. Because mind you, I felt something that is unexplainable. The way I felt that day was, I have never felt, not even with the vertigo, not even the pain with the gallbladder, nothing. And I could tolerate pain. I'm a person that could tolerate pain. So this wasn't pain. This was something, I don't know how to describe it or how to even explain it, is that this thing, not even like nausea, it was just something that went from my head to my toes. Like, it was all through my body. And I grabbed to the sink and I told my daughter, I don't feel good. Something's not right. Something's not right. And I started feeling my body go numb. I started feeling like dazed, like everything was shutting down. And I remember walking, like if I was going to walk out the kitchen, and I grabbed the wall. And that's all I remember. The next thing I remember, I was on the floor and they're waking me up and calling the ambulance, 911, everything. So I fainted. Now, mind you, I have never fainted in my life. Not even when I was pregnant. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I got this like nausea one time. And my mother-in-law taught me to always have galletas or, Ritz crackers or the regular crackers always handy because you get nausea when you're pregnant. So I remember that day I got nausea in the market and they got cookies and gave them to me. But I had never fainted in my life. And so this was a new feeling for me. To be honest, I've never fainted. Never in 42 years of my life, I've never fainted. I mean, the seizures don't count right now. And so now coming home, I'll tell you, I'm going to go in between. Coming home and hearing my kids and my husband, everybody explain what happened. They had just got home, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes max. They had just got home. They were showing me something they had bring. We were having conversations. They had bought food where they were at, and they bring some back. And my daughter, everybody was getting situated, now that everybody was home. My daughter said, I'll be back. I'm gonna go change. She came back and put the food away. She asked me, Mom, do you want some? I said no. Our bedtime schedules are different. If a lot of our family members that know us know that I'm a vampire and how our sleeping schedule is. So that day, my son was getting ready. He was going to go to bed. And my daughter too, mind you, my daughter hadn't slept prior than when they left. So I knew when everybody got home, everybody was going to go to bed. Even though it was the afternoon, everybody was going to go to bed because they left without sleeping and they were tired. And when they came home, they were exhausted and tired. So, and then my husband, he wasn't feeling well as well. He had a little, like a little cough. So he wasn't feeling himself either, but they went and did this errand. And, so I decided, okay, I'll do the chicken. My daughter tells me that while she went to change, she came back, put the food away. I was cutting the chicken and all that. And she said that I said, I don't feel good. Something's not right. And she said that when I was walking out to the kitchen, like if I was walking out of the kitchen, I grabbed to the walls and I said, hold on, I need a minute. And I guess I was saying it aggressive. I guess maybe at that moment I felt like they were rushing me. I don't remember saying that, but my daughter said that. My husband too said that he heard me say, hold on, I need a minute. Wait, give me a minute. I need a minute. And then I fell to the floor. Well, I didn't fall to the floor because my daughter was behind me. So when I fainted, my daughter cansó agarrarme, and so I fell in her arms, like half to the floor and half on her. And she started screaming for her dad, and it gets me emotional because I'm a person that has control, that needs to have control. And with the health, I'm a person that hides everything. My husband and my kids, I do tell them certain things, certain times. There's a lot of things I don't, because I will say, I'm going to get into this in a different episode about being strong. I will say that I feel like I'm the stronger one in my household. I'm the strongest one in my family in general. And I could hold a lot of shit in and hide a lot of shit. And I do it as a protection as them too, because I don't like them to see me unwell or not myself. And there's times that they have, and I hate that. I hate when they see me vulnerable, because I am not that. I don't like that. My kids, my daughter especially, has been teaching me throughout these years that it's okay not to be strong. It's okay to cry. It's okay to let things go and ask for help. That's another thing. That's another problem I have, is I don't like asking for help. When I had the gallbladder removed, I was supposed to be resting. I kept getting up. They kept scolding me and bringing me back to the bed. I kept getting up because asking them, oh, you guys want to eat? They already had the schedule of how they were going to do everything while I was recovering. And no, I still felt like I needed to feed my family. I felt like I still needed to do things for my family. And it was fucking hard having them help me. When I've had my stomach spasms in the restroom, I've had to call them certain times, because there has been times that with my stomach spasms that I feel like I'm going to faint, but I've never fainted. And sometimes I feel like I'm out of it and they got to come and help me. And this has all happened after the gallbladder. There's been a lot of shit that's happened after my gallbladder. And even the emotional, that's for another story. Even being emotional, I was never fucking emotional. And so yeah, so when I found my daughter's hands, she said she yelled for her dad. My husband said, I'm calling 911 already. I'm calling 911. And then he came and called my son and my daughter and my son, they were trying to wake me up. And I woke up and I heard them, but I couldn't see them. I couldn't see them at all. I could hear all of them. I hear my husband talking to the ambulance. I hear them, but I can't see them. And my daughter said, which they all got scared. Mind you, this is the first time this has ever happened to us. We've never had this kind of scare in our home ever before. Just a side note, we've always lived with my husband's mom. So my mother-in-law, we've been taking care of her for over 20 something years. And she has had things here and there. She's disabled and she's had issues here and there. But I think nothing scary has happened. Thank God. And I think we already are used to her being an older person and older and sick and disabled. You know, she's been disabled my kids' entire life. So they're already used to that. So it's nothing scary. But this, on the other hand, this has been the first time, especially that they're seeing their mom or their parent go through this, you know? So my daughter said when I felt to her arms that my eyes didn't, when I laid back on her head, on her body, my head went back to her chest. And she said that my eyes were white. So you could imagine the scare that was for her. For both of my kids, this was very traumatic. For my husband as well. And I will give it to my husband. He stepped up to the plate and was fucking strong. But, and I want to give it up to my kids, because if it wasn't for them, I don't know what happened. Also, if they weren't home 20 minutes, 30 minutes prior, if I would have got up to the restroom, or if I would have got up, you know, I was in my show and then I knocked out, I fell asleep, but 20 minutes, if they didn't come, was it going to happen with them here or not here? That's the scary part. Where it would have been really fucked up if they would have walked in and seen me on the floor. So I want to thank God they were here. I want to thank God for them. And I apologize 100 times. And they keep telling me to stop saying sorry, but never, as a mother, as a parent, you want to put your family through this. That's why health is so fucking important. That's why sickness is important, because you just don't go through it. Your family goes through it with you. So when the ambulance came, I know they tell me mind you, not only did I faint it, when I woke up, something happened to me. My fucking hands went crooked. Literally, my husband and my kids are witnesses that my hands hicieron chuecos. I tried getting toilet paper, napkin. I couldn't. My hands were so fucking numb that the pain was going up my arm that I didn't even care about the pain. I felt like my arms were going to be chopped off. My fingers were going to get chopped off. It was a fucking ugly feeling. I was screaming. Also, too, every time you want to be calm, until you go through something, you don't know how you're going to react. Because I'm a person that always tells everybody, stay fucking calm. And yet, when this was happening to me, I don't even remember none of this. only in and out certain things. I wasn't fucking calm. I was screaming while the ambulance were taking long. My daughter said, Mom, they came like that. My son said they were here in the kitchen when you were screaming. Why are they taking so long? But my hands, my mom has had issues. And she's told me about these symptoms. And my mom has went through these symptoms. And man, you don't understand until you go through it. You feel for that person. And you hurt for that person that's going through that. But when that shit was happening to me, my husband said I was screaming. This is what my mom said. My mom had this before. And, yeah, so seeing and talking to my kids and my husband afterward, seeing the pain and the scaredness in their eyes, explaining how my body was reacting, how my mouth and my face was going white and blue and purple, how I was so pale. I never want to put my family through that. And this is not even big compared to other people's problems. But what I have learned through my kids is that it doesn't matter how big or small your problem is. It's a problem it's big for you. And what I'm talking about right now, it may be like nothing. Or you be like, oh, I went through that. That ain't shit. No. Until you go through something and you see the sadness or the scaredness in your family's face and eyes, it's sad. And it's fucked up because we don't have control of our health. Yes, we do to a certain point, but no. So what happened was they said my oxygen had dropped, my blood pressure had dropped, my blood pressure was low. They said the reason why my hands went like that is because I was breathing too hard. And breathing too hard makes the oxygen drop. And that's what happens with your body goes into a shock and it reacts that way. And so they end up taking me to the hospital in the ambulance. My husband will follow. Mind you, I haven't been in a hospital since 2018. The only time I went to the hospital was in 2020 for my gallbladder. That was in and out. But in the emergency room, I haven't been in the emergency room since 2018. And then they take me to the worst hospital where I live. There's 2 hospitals where I live. One's a little farther, but it's better than the one closer to my house. But yet they have to take me there. So I get there. And, after the NMEC came, the hospitals ain't the same. And mind you, I haven't been in there since 2018. And boy, has shit changed in there. I was in there from 4 to 9:30. I think 9:30. 4 to 9, let's say. And they ran some tests. They found out that my potassium was low. My blood pressure went low. And my oxygen was up and down. And so what they explained to me is that, which I didn't know, is when you take your blood pressure pills, you're supposed to be taking them every day for life. And because I hadn't taken them for 2 months, that day that I took it, my blood pressure was already low. And taking a pill made it even worse, made it lower. Now, they explained to me that you're supposed to be checking your blood pressure every day. I didn't know that. Of course, they tell you when it's high to document it for a week, and then you give them the report. But yet, when it's low, I've never knew that. And so if your blood pressure is low, you're not supposed to take your pill until your blood pressure goes back to normal. Then you take your pill and you go on your day. Well, because I hadn't taken it, they're giving me that's the reason that I fainted and everything, because my blood pressure went too low. And then they said I was hydrated, so they gave me 2 packs of, through the IV. There's 2 packs, and they didn't let my husband wasn't able to go back there for 4 hours. 4 hours they didn't let him back there, and yeah, it was a fucking scary thing. But hey, I'm back to me. I'm back to Motueka. I'm controlling my blood pressure. I'm checking my blood pressure every day. We had a machine here. My husband just got me a newer machine. Because it's a hassle with the doctors, I still haven't gotten an appointment. Of course, not surprised. I do have an appointment in April, which would have been a regular appointment. So I'm waiting every day. I'm on an emergency call list. They're supposed to be calling me every day. Mind you, it's been a week and a half and still nothing. But I'm not surprised from the fucking clinic. I'm just not taking my blood pressure pills right now because my blood pressure is a little low to normal. It's up and down right now. So I'm just keeping in control of that. I am eating good food because also too, when we're on these diets, we don't eat. And that's something my husband told me too, that if I was going to be on these diets, I need to eat. If not, I can't be on these diets, because that screws thing too. For that day I had ate, but the day prior I only ate something small, and that fucks you up too, not eating. And all I want to do is just drink coffee. I actually sacrifice from eating to drink my coffee, because if I get too full with food, I'll be too full to drink my coffee, and I rather drink coffee than eat food. And that's a problem I have. And my husband scolds me on that too. But yeah, I do want to say muchas gracias a mi gente, a mi familia. So much love. I know my kids got scared. I know my husband got scared. And, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have told nobody, because me. But all the love I received, the good thing I took my phone. Sometimes you don't think people love you. Sometimes you don't think people appreciate you, or you think you're too mean, that they're not going to love you for you, which is me. Because I'm a different person now, so I don't give all my all anymore. And the love I received was beautiful. And I know everybody took time out of their day to call, to text, to reach out, to keep with the updates. And no más les digo muchas gracias. Thank you. De mi corazón, muchas gracias. I appreciate it. I appreciate my nephew for talking to my son. I appreciate my daughter's friend for talking to her, because they needed somebody to talk to, and they're the ones that talk them and calm them down. And other family members did too, but it's nothing like that best friend, It's a different, all my family members were calming them down, and I'm grateful for that, but it's nothing like a best friend. And I think my kids needed that to break down with their best friend and talk everything out. And again, muchas gracias to my husband. Muchas gracias to my kids. Y muchas gracias to mi familia. Again, muchas gracias a todo mi familia. Everybody. All my family. And remember, when I say mi familia, that includes my husband's family, porque son mi familia. So again, muchas gracias a todos. Much love. And with that, your girl Motuika is fine. I am fine. Everything's back to normal. I'm taking it easy. I'm trying to, what I can control of my health, I'm trying to keep it in control. I gotta do my part, and that's what I'm doing. Because we're not young no more. I'm 42. I'm young, but not that young. And so I'll figure it out. Hopefully this vertigo I can figure out. Right now I'm looking for a chiropractor, but I know they're expensive, so I'm trying to find that because I heard that's really good. I'm starting these teas that's supposed to be good for vertigo, and I'm just doing what I can. And I'm not the only one with health issues. I know I have a lot of family members with health issues, so I don't want to be here everybody just talking about me. But I appreciate it, but I don't want all the attention. And I'm going to pray for everybody that also has health issues, because this probably ain't nothing what I'm going through, what they go through, because I know some family members that got major health issues, and I pray for them as well. But your girl Motuika, I got this. I got this. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I am going to put part 2 from the other story, but it won't be long. Maybe I'll put it in pieces. I don't know. But I hope you guys support, like, share, comment. Check me out. Much love. Have a firme week. Firme weekend, mi gente.